Are you ready, River? Are you ready, River? Yeah. You ready? Oh, yeah? Yeah, you ready? Oh, we're gonna be on the YouTubes. Are you ready, puppy dog? Oh, yes, she is. I'm starting this channel in order to help new writers navigate this confusing world of publishing. And I'm going to be starting with my own personal journey, as I've just received an offer of publication for my debut novel, Surviving Midas. So I'm going to get to experience firsthand all the different things and what goes into a book before it's actually published, and I'm going to take you along the journey. So if you're interested in following my journey, hit the subscribe button and be sure to like this video, and also hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. In this video, we're going to talk about self-publishing, what it is, what it's not, and how much it costs. First off, let's start with what self-publishing is not. Self-publishing is not something you do when you can't find anyone to traditionally publish your book. If you're having problems finding somebody to publish your story, start asking questions as to why that is. Is your story even ready for publication? Does it need further editing? Do you need to go find some other writers or beta readers to look at your draft and see what can be improved on? Because the self-publishing market is not as easy as it seems. In fact, it might even be harder to sell than even your traditionally published authors. Now, the reason for that is because so much goes into the author's workload, and there's not even any help or advice from the publishers. So it's all on the author to write the book, find an editor, find a cover for the book, and market it. Because a lot of us authors, nobody knows who the heck we are. We're just some random people that don't like to get out of our basement and would rather sit in a dark room and write all day. So you got to get yourself out there, because if nobody knows about you, what good is your book that you've just written? So that's actually a lot on a self-published author. And if your book's not worth reading, who's going to pick it up? And then you won't gain anything from it. Even if you get somebody to actually pick up your book and read it, they might not pick up the next one because they'll say, that first book sucked. Why would I ever read that? So if your book is not ready to be published, shelve it for a little bit, go back and edit it, or go find some other writers who would like to swap their manuscripts with yours and listen to their feedback, because a lot of times they will be able to point out things to you that you didn't get to see yourself. So if self-publishing is not a second alternative to traditional publishing, then why do people do it? The easy answer? Money. A lot of these answers come down to money. With traditional publishing, an author will see most of the revenue of their sales going other places. First, you got your agent. That's an important thing to remember, because those big 5 publishing houses, you're talking Simon & Schuster, Penguin Random House, Macmillan Book Group, and there's a couple others, they're not even going to entertain your manuscript offer without an agent. So if you're looking to get one of those big 5 publishing houses, forget it. In that agent, they don't work by a charge or a flat rate. They work on commission, and they take 15% of any of the profits that you make from your book. So that's 15% already going to somewhere else. But that's not the only place you're losing your money, because these publishing houses, a lot of them are going to only pay you 10% of each book copy sold. All right, so think about that. That's 90% going to the publisher, and then that 10% is going to you, the author, minus an additional 15%. So say your book is selling for $10. That means for every book sold, you're getting $1, which means for all of those books sold, 85 cents goes to you. 15 cents of that goes to your agent. It gets kind of smaller and smaller as you go down. Now, this might not be true for all publishing houses. Some independent publishing houses will pay you a higher percentage of royalties or not require an agent, or both. So you might see a higher percent, but it was only talking about like 30% for paperbacks, 50% for electronic copies. So you're still losing some of that money is going to the publishing houses, because just like you, they're out to make some money. So that is a consideration when you're looking at traditional publishing. Keep it in mind, you're not going to get the full percentage of your sales. Now, in another video, a separate video, I'm going to be talking about traditional publishing, what that is and what that's going to look like, and the different types you'll find. So if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button so that you can stay tuned for my new videos coming out about publishing. So if a self-publishing author can take home 100% of their sales, why doesn't everybody go that route? Well, and the question is, just like before, it's all about the money. See, while a traditionally published author will not see a lot of money after the book is actually published, the self-publishing author is going to have to pay money up front So we're talking about editing fees, we're talking about cover art and design, we're talking about manufacturing and distribution. All of that is going to fall onto the self-publishing author. And there's the other thing, is there's no guarantee in the publication of any book that it's actually going to sell. So now you can put about as much money into self-publishing as you like, or as little as you like. Results may vary. But on the front end, you're probably looking at somewhere around $3,000 to $5,000 to put out your book. So that is quite the barrier to entry, which is why a lot of people choose to go the traditional publishing route. Because not many people have that much scratch just lying around. And it's an investment on yourself, which is another reason why you want to put your best foot forward in self-publishing. So how much does it actually cost to self-publish a book? Well, like most things in life, it depends. Does the author want to hire a publicity company? Do they have more money than time? So they're going to hire somebody else to market and publicize their book? That's going to be a massive charge. Do they hire the best illustrator in the business to do the cover art for their book? Well, that's going to cost a lot of money too. If you're like me and you like to overwrite, you might look at your book and say, I have 200,000 words in my books. That's going to be a massive book. And the bigger the book, the more it's going to cost to publish the book. So really, a person could pay as little or as much as they want to publish their book. It all depends on a few factors. And just remember, in the end, the book might not actually sell. You need to actually fork out some money on that cover art. All right. Now, you've heard the saying, don't judge a book by its cover. Unfortunately, that's exactly what your readers do. And a lot of times, all they're getting is a little tiny thumbnail on an Amazon.com, and they're going to, if it doesn't look interesting, they're not even going to click on it. If it looks like it's cheap, you just lost a reader. Now, this doesn't mean you need to buy the most expensive illustration out there. You could pick the greatest painter of our time. Heck, Leonardo da Vinci, I was going to say DiCaprio, but Leonardo da Vinci could freaking paint your cover art. But unless somebody reads the acknowledgement, they would never know. So you don't necessarily want to go for the most expensive cover art, but you don't want to skimp on quality either. You really want something that's going to bring in your readers, not just on the cover, but on your promotional materials as well. Because you're going to be putting ads out there, and you're going to want people to click on your ads in order to see your book. And if you can't get your readers to pick up that book, you're sunk. That being said, be sure to go for quality rather than just price tags. Another thing you don't need to skimp on is your editing fees. The last thing you want to do is have a typo left on the first page. A lot of your readers are going to open that, close it immediately, and put it back on the bookshelf, never to buy it again. I mean, you can't get much worse than that, especially since usually the first few pages gives the reader a clue into how the rest of the book's going to go. You don't want that junk all over there. So definitely be sure to hire somebody that knows what they're doing with editing, and somebody that knows how to format as well. The last thing you want to do is take your beautiful Microsoft Word document you worked on for weeks trying to get it formatted just the right way. You send it to your distributor and the people that buying the books, you know, those folks, and then it not fit into the margins. That's the last thing you want to happen. So you definitely want to get somebody that knows how to format a book and who can help edit your copy of your manuscript. Going to your friends in your critique circle, it's just not going to cut it. You need some professional help on this. You're an author, a creator of worlds and lives. Find some other pleb to do your editing. So these are the major things to spend your money on when you're trying to do self-publishing. Wait, what'd you say? Did I miss marketing? Or did I not? While it is true you can spend tons of money on advertisements and all sorts of promotions, a lot of these things can actually be free, but they're going to take time. Alright, so if you don't have time, but you do have money, that's when you might need to find a publicity group for yourself. But some of the major ways to actually promote inside your books is going to be joining social media accounts and building your following. Now there are all sorts of ways to do that, especially on Twitter. You got the hashtag writing community. A lot of times your fellow writers will do writers lists where they'll start following you, so you have a bigger and bigger prominence on these social media accounts. Also getting a blog up and running. And I mean a blog on your own website. Okay, so places like Tumblr and Reddit, they do not belong to you. And you can be deleted from those places in snap of a finger. And there goes all your work, all your followers. You need to get your own website. And you need to get a newsletter started out so that your fans can always know when you've got a new book coming out, or you got promotional activity going on, or you got some new merch available for sale. Those are going to be some of your best ways to keep up with your followers. I might make another video about social media platforms in the future. If you'd like to see that, be sure to comment below. Also comment with any of your questions. about new video suggestions, what my new novel is going to be about, anything that you would like. I will be sure to look through those comments. Also be sure if you like this video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, that notification bell. I think I got them all. Do the things. Do the things. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for later content.